time for my top 12 wide receivers in fantasy, your WR1s, if you will. There's a lot of depth at wideout. There are a couple of names that I absolutely love that are not on this list, but let's not wait any longer. Let's kick it off with number 12, a guy who should be a wide receiver one in a bounce back year, JUJU Smith-Schuster. Disappointing 2019. A lot of it was out of his control. The quarterback situation, we know all of that. He's a year removed from 111 catches and over 1,400 yards. That's his ceiling. I like that. He might not be that level again without Antonio Brown, but Big Ben is back, and he's going to put up some numbers in that offense as the number one. Okay, happy 27th birthday to number 11. It is Mike Evans. Here he is, played 6 seasons. He's racked up 1,000 plus in each of them. Every single one. I don't think that changes with Brady, even with Godwin there, even with Gronk there, and he scores touchdowns. He's an end zone guy. So those guys might limit his ceiling as far as yards and touchdowns, but the floor is still super high. At number 10, not seeing this guy in a lot of lists here, but I'm going to go Adam Thielen. We talked a lot about the Diggs trade this offseason. Well, Thielen's become a bit of an afterthought here. I know he had a down year. He had an injury. Now he's stepping in as the number one, but I like what we've seen. I feel like you need a little bit of a reminder of what he was before that injury, guys. In 2018, he racked up 113 catches. He was easily a top 10 guy, coming in at number 7 in PPR leagues. He's the unquestioned number one for the first time in an offense that, listen, they might have to open things up a little more given what that defense lost this offseason. So Adam Thielen at 10. At number 9, Amari Cooper. That's right, that's Amari. He put up career highs in yards, just under 1,200. He had 8 touchdowns. He finished inside the top 10 last year. Yes, there is a 3-headed monster with Gallup and Lamb, but I think that's only going to ensure opposing defenses can't do anything to stop Cooper. He's a monster to handle one-on-one as is, so I think he puts up those numbers once again. At 8, Cooper KUPP. Not just because he'll be on our show in just a little bit. He finished 4th in PPR leagues last year. 94 catches over 1,100 yards, 10 touchdowns. Listen, Cooks is gone. Gurley's gone. That's 121 targets just from last year up for grabs. I think he does hit that Peter Schrager 100 catch mark. I think 2020 is the year to do it. He's also the red zone guy. I like him. I like Woods as a wide receiver too, but Cooper KUPP's going to keep rolling as that guy. He might be quiet on Hard Knocks, but you got to love him here. At number 7, the other Bucs receiver. Yeah, I put him here. Chris Godwin. Only Michael Thomas had more than Godwin's 95.2 yards a game last season. Yes, I do think the production might dip a little bit. The Bucs will improve. They'll air it out a little less. The turnovers won't be there to cause a lot of those yards, yada, yada, yada. But he emerged as one of the best receivers in the NFL. I'm thinking catches. I'm thinking receptions. I think he's still in the top 10. At 6, Kenny Golladay. I love him. I really do. He emerged as a top 10 receiver last year. And yes, he's not Calvin Johnson, but if you had to create somebody who's kind of like Calvin Johnson to fill in that role for Matthew Stafford, this is about as close as you can get. He is your touchdown guy. Take a look at what he was able to do in his 2019 season. And obviously, he didn't have Matthew Stafford the whole time, but he still put up the numbers. He averaged just about 4 points more a game with him than without him. And he'd be on pace for 1,300 yards and 14 touchdowns if he had a full season with Stafford. He fits in. He's a big target. We all know Matthew wants to give his receivers a chance to make plays. What does he do when things break down? He looks for that big-bodied receiver. So I think that Golladay puts up huge receiving numbers this year. At number 5, DeAndre Hopkins. So only over the past 3 seasons, only Michael Thomas has outscored DeAndre, and no receiver has found the end zone more often. Down year by his standards in 2019, he was still 5th in the NFL. Sure, there's lots of mouths to feed, but I like this offense. I think they'll put up a ton of points, and I don't see any reason that he won't have a big year. He's got Kyler Murray and Cliff Kingsbury. At 4, Tyreek Hill. Tyreek slowed by injuries last season. He had his fewest yards per game since his rookie year, but assuming he's healthy heading into week 1, there's no reason he can't have a season like he did in 2018 when he had those 12 touchdowns, 1,500 yards almost, and he's got Patrick Mahomes, obviously the NFL's most dynamic offense at his disposal. 3, Julio Jones. You have to just put him in here. I tried taking him out. Hamilton wouldn't let me, and I shouldn't, because you know you're going to get over 1,000 yards. Well over. He doesn't score as many touchdowns as I'd like. His floor is insane. 7 years, guys. His lowest output in 7 years is 1,394 yards, which he, by the way, did in 15 games. So he's averaged over 100 yards per game over that span. He has to be at 3. At 2, Davante Adams. He missed 4 games last year. He had turf toe he was dealing with all season. When he's healthy, this is a lock for double-digit touchdowns. Aaron Rodgers, I think, wants to turn it up. This is his guy. There's not many other guys who can do what he can. Adams has posted 3 straight seasons of double-digit touchdowns before missing these games last year. And over his final 5 when he was back, he averaged 122 a game. He scored 4 touchdowns in that time. I love him at number 2. And my top fantasy wide receiver for 2020, it's Michael Thomas. This was the easiest decision I've had to make on any of these lists. Of course, he has the NFL record that he himself beat just last season with 149 catches, 1,700 plus yards, 9 touchdowns last year. I just think he benefits from a full year of Drew Brees, which he didn't have last year when he did this, and the addition of Emmanuel Sanders. I think that makes it impossible for anyone to focus all of their resources on taking him out of the game. So I feel like it's not impossible to expect him to put up similar numbers once again. There you have it, my top wide receivers. Yes, Stephon Diggs is missing. Yes. There's a lot of top receivers. You could say Devontae Parker, where are you? Keenan Allen, where are you? But all that really speaks to is the depth at this position.